Hello everybody, this is Bram here. Today I have a zombies wave system for you. I know this has been highly requested by you guys, so I came out and I made it for you. But keep in mind, this is a semi-complicated system. If you're not very good at commands, it's going to be complicated, it seems like to you. But, you know, I have this tutorial and I'm going to make sure you are able to follow it. So yeah, and this will be a long video. Just putting that out there, so yeah. And before I start this tutorial, could you guys please leave a like? It really helps me out a lot. And please go subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified whenever I upload. That would really mean a lot, and it would help me out a lot. So yeah. And now let's get into this tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn it on and show you what happens. So when the wave machine turns on, it doesn't have to do that. It says let the rounds begin, and you know, next wave. And what it does is it summons the zombies roughly at the spawner of your position. So like if I run over here, they'll get teleported out and they'll get teleported back in. It's kind of glitchy when you're in creative mode. So I'm gonna go to A, game mode A, and it follows, and they will spawn behind you if they go out of your render distance. So this is basically a refilter system. It's pretty big or nice, and I'm getting destroyed. I have strength and resistance on right now because I didn't want to put armor on. So yeah, and the radius that I have set up for here is nowhere near the radius you're gonna want for a zombies map. I have it at like a radius of 9 or 10 or something. I forgot, maybe even 7, but it's small. But this is just a proof of concept and the tutorial, obviously. But yeah, when you kill all the zombies, next wave incoming, and then they'll spawn in at the closer one to you. And there's also a boss, but that's wave 5. And are we coming in? Oh yeah, there we go. And there we go. And wave 5 is next. And there's the boss. He's not very good. But it's like a proof of concept that you can do it. Okay, let's stop that. Wow, I couldn't find C. Can I spell? Can I spell? Wow. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go click this off switch real quick, and then I show you commands. Yeah. Okay, and then I want to show you the cool thing. Wait, the radius is right here. This is the radius of where the zombies can be, and it just fills. I don't know why it's filling in a square, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But it's supposed to be filling that clone, or cloning that. I think that's what the problem is. That's the TP command. This is the clone command. I don't know why it's being weird, but I guess it is. Anyways, this is the tutorial. And so this is right here. This is the scoreboards and all the stuff. You're gonna have to type this in 8 different times or 8 times or whatever. But you're gonna want to type what's in these command blocks right here into your little typey thingy chat thing. You're gonna want to do that. So the first one, I'm just gonna open them, and then you can type them or pause the video, type them in here, and then yeah, unpause it when you need to. So the first one is the rounds, and you're gonna want to put the display thing right there if you really want to display it like mine. But you're just gonna have to type that in real quick. And then the next one is add an objective zombies dummy. Make sure you spell it like that because you're gonna have to remember how you spell it. Okay. And then the next one is zombies, the same one, but with a 2 at the end. And then the fourth one is a boss dummy. This is optional. You don't have to do the boss one, but you can do it if you want to. And then we're going to start adding scoreboards, or players. So we're not adding players, we're adding a name. So you're going to want to put zombie, and you're going to have to spell it like that and leave it like that. Keep it spelled the same way. And you're going to add that to the first zombie scoreboard and do it to 0. And the second one. So zombies Zombies and Zombies 2 has a player of zombies, or not a player, just, instead of putting a player, you put that. And then you do the same thing with rounds, but you call it round on the rounds one. And then same thing with boss. You put capital B for boss, and then lowercase for the scoreboard. And I just wanted to make sure that I did that correctly for that. Yep. And yeah, so just a reminder, all these that I just showed you, you're typing in right here. And to do the thing on the side where it shows the rounds, it's not add, it's set display, sidebar, rounds, and then it sets it over here. Okay. Enough of typing in that thing. It's already 6 minutes. It's gonna be a long tutorial. Okay. So I'm gonna show you this at the end, or close to the end, but this is like 2 parts: the zombie spawning system and the return system. So right now I'm gonna do the zombie spawning system. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is put this repeating command block on. All it is a test for @e zombies, and you're going to want to put a comparator off that going into a redstone torch. And then somehow, I did this messy because I put this down and I already had stuff set up, and yeah, so I did this messy. But you're going to want to put a redstone torch going off into this block right here. And this will be, not that. This will be a bedrock, and it will power all those when I turn it on. And then the next one you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do scoreboard players round. I'll just pause it, and then that one doesn't have any ticks or anything. And then the next one you're going to want to do is this. I'm just going to probably pause it, but what that's doing is giving the scoreboard to it for it to work. And then this one's just the next wave incoming tag thing. And then this one is an operation command. So what it does is whenever we put in the repeating and chain stuff over here, what it's going to do is every round it's going to take all the zombies from scoreboard 1 and put them in the 2 and take away the value of one of the zombies scoreboards, but the other one holds how many zombies were in the previous round. And then it puts it in the other one, and it's like, oh, okay. And this one's just the beginning wave, but put it in this thing and it'll be fine, this layout. And then this one, this is the interchangeable one. This is the one you can have as many as you want of. But basically you're customizing what goes for each wave. So the first one is a test for the rounds, so you're testing for what round. By doing that, round 1 is 1 and 1. 2 is 2 and 2. 3, 3 and 3. 5, 5 and 5. So you're testing for what round you have. And then you're adding to the scoreboard how many zombies you want. The 6 is how many zombies are in the first round. And then you set it to that for the second round at round 8. Or not round 8, but round 2 is 8 zombies. And you just do that. But you do that as many times as you want. So you do, say 1 through 30. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. All the way to 30, 30. And then you can add whatever zombie, if that makes sense. Yeah, that should make sense. And then this section right here. This is a testing for how many zombies, because the operation command took all the zombies from the pre-existing round and put them into the next one. They're testing for the zombies too. And even if there is a way to make it so you don't have to do the operation command, it's just like a fail-save, just in case, something happens. And, yeah, it just keeps it stable, I should say. Then it's scoreboard test, zombie, how many zombies are in that, from 1 to max. I should say. That's what that means. I'm not doing 199 anymore because I figured that out. So, yeah. And then once you do that, you're going to remove the one zombie. It's like a 1-for-1 shot. You test for that, get a zombie out of that. It's simple. And you just constantly do that. And that should not be in a tick delay. Yeah, no tick. But, yeah. And then this one is summoning the zombie into this box, which you're going to want to make this box. And these are barriers, by the way. So you're going to want to make this style of a box and then have this spawn point as this. Yes, I know it sounds very complicated, but that's what this round system is. Okay, and before I move on to this part, I'm going to show you this. But if you guys are having trouble like figuring out if it's conditional or unconditional, because some of the comments I get, that's all that's missing is they keep it on conditional, which will constantly do it with, like, it would take away, it would constantly give you points. Say, if you step on the round system and you step on it, it will constantly give you points even though you don't have any rotten flesh. So whenever it's conditional like this, it's going to have this arrow pointing thing without the flat part. It's going to be curved. And then when it's unconditional, it's just flat at the back. So that should clear up some things. And I don't know if I showed you this, but coming off of the round one, it's the boss. I forgot if I showed you, but it's okay if I showed you again. And for the boss, this is the same thing for the boss. You choose what round, because the boss goes on which round. I'm going to show you this before I do that. But the boss goes based on the amount of rounds. It's the same number, but it has a different scoreboard, so it could do this. So you test for, mine is round 5. Every 5 rounds, it's gonna remove the 5 rounds that just happened, and then spawn in the boss. So you want to name it by doing summon, zombie, and then if you don't have anything, it's just default no name. But if there is something, that's the new name of the mob, and you're gonna want to spawn that in right here. So yeah, it's basically the same thing, but based on how many rounds instead of how many zombies for that round are. Okay, and then for the off system, what we're going to do is we're setting this block right here. If you want to use coordinates, then you can with air, because there's a redstone block that goes here normally. And then this one will set the rounds to 0. You can pause it if you need to, and they're all unconditional, always active chain. And then this one sets the zombies to 0. This one sets zombies 2 to 0. This one set blocks, I think, yeah. That one set blocks this block to air. That's what that does. And then this one will kill the zombies. I think that's the next one, yeah. This one will just kill all the zombies in the map. And then this one will kill all the items that are dropped, like everything. And then this one will reset the boss, because I set the boss up after I finished the thing, so I was like, oh, okay. But that one just sets the boss. And then over here, to turn it on in a separate one, it's basically putting a redstone block there. If you wanted to get the coordinates again, do that. This one sets a redstone block on top of this, so it would do that message. This is optional if you really wanted to. And then what that's doing, the next one is setting air on the same spot, so you could literally use the same coordinates but switch like what happens, I guess. Yeah. And then this one will set the bedrock right here. So yeah, that's the spawning in system. I know I'm going fast. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this in as short as video as I possibly can and make it try to make sense, I guess. I know it's going to make sense to some of you, but not all of you. But then again, you can pause and figure things out. So yeah. Then the thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the bottom left corner of, or the farthest corner to, or the closest 0 to Let me rephrase that. Wow, this corner is the closest corner to 0, 0. So 0, 0 is this way. So you're going to want to find this corner. And you're going to want to fill the floor of your map with bedrock. All the way to the top left corner, which is the farthest away from 0, 0. If that makes sense. And you're going to want to find those coordinates and put them in to this one right here. And you're going to want to constantly fill them, and it's going to be on repeating with a 5-tick delay. And it's just going to constantly clone bedrock there. Basically, what it does is if it senses zombies at this level, or if it detects bedrock at this level below a zombie, then it's going to TP the zombie back into the system. But if it doesn't detect bedrock, which in this case it's stone, then it's going to stay near you. And I don't know why it's a square. It's supposed to be a circle like that, but it's being weird. So, maybe, is this the clone? No, that's the zombie one. Let me try this real quick. Okay. And then it should not. Okay, I give up. Oh no, I figured it out actually. Okay. Anyways. What I did was I made the circle bigger, but I forgot to change the coordinates. Okay, so once you fill that constantly, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do execute. Oh, and then another thing is, for the execute command, you want to know what this block is. The X and the Y. Or the X and the Z. Yeah, you're going to want to know X and Z. And go that way, and that way. You need to know how many blocks it is in each direction. So you can make this like force field type thing that it only works in that area, because if I didn't make that, then literally everything here would be deleted because it would be filled with stone. So you're going to want to make that force field, which is this. So it's executing at all players in the area. So I put my Y level at 0 because it's at the 0, and then you put the distances in, and then 2, 5, 6, which is the world height. So that's the area where this will work. So, at all players in that area, yeah, I think I did the good job, but I'm sorry if you guys didn't get that all the way. But you're going to want to find that area, and then tilde, tilde, tilde. You're going to clone the circle into there, and then you're going to mask it, which means the air blocks won't get cloned. But what you're going to do is you're going to find the radius of the circle, find the center point, and then count off how many sides there are. So like in this one, this is my center point, and it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7 over here. 7 going this way. So you're going to find this point. So that's what the last number is. But for cloning it in there, you're going to want to clone this point and this point. So the first number is going to be this. So the first number, which is this one right here, is going to be the closest one to 0, 0. So 0, 0 is that way. And the second one, which is this one, is going to be the farthest away from 0, 0 in this corner. And you want to make sure you overlap both sides of the circle. And remove those, because that would cause problems. And then you're going to want to count the radius out of both sides, and then put that in. And then you're going to want to, I have this cloning at 4, so you're going to want to put no tilde for 4. So it's going to be tilde -7, 4, tilde -7. Or negative whatever number. But it's going to be negative, because you're doing it, you're trying to clone it so that corner is closest to 0, 0. And like I said, I messed up on the commands, but you know, like, you get the point of it. And then this one is the one that TPs the zombies back into the box. So you have the execute at E type equals zombies, and then you're going to want to do that force field again. And then you're going to detect at or tilde, which is where they're at for those two tildes, 4, which is where the bedrock's being constantly filled for bedrock, and then put the 0 just because you need the 0, and I don't really, it's like a data value or something. And then you TP all the zombies within a radius of 1 of that one zombie. So it might teleport 2 or 3. It depends on how many zombies are overlapping. But they're not in that area, so it shouldn't matter. And then this coordinate is in here. Is this one. Alright. We're almost done, guys. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is... No, that's not what you're going to want to do first. You're going to want to do this first. You're going to want to TP at R type equals zombies, which is zombie. And then this is the coordinate of the middle of this. Right here. You're going to want to find that coordinate. And at a radius of 2, which means it will get all the zombies in there. And then you want to TP it to a random armor stand to make it random where the locations are. And I named them spawn. Which, whenever you're over or near a spot of a spawn, it will put an armor stand, like here. So I'm near this one, and it's gonna put the armor stand there. It shouldn't constantly be killing it, but I guess it is. But it's there for a second, and if it constantly kills, it's fine. But it does that. And if you guys really don't want the lag from that, what you can do is you can change this to a 5 tick, and or not that one. You change this one to a 5 tick, and it will stay there for a second, and then when you move, it would die. Yeah, so that's how that's gonna work. This one is TPing the zombies that are right above the command block. So all the zombies that were randomly teleported to the thing of spawn will be here. So it's literally tilde, which is the location of the command block, up by 1, and then this is the location of where you want the zombies to spawn. So I've marked them out with the emerald blocks. So that first one is here. And that's just spawning the zombies in. Now this one is the confusing part. What you're going to want to do is you're going to test for block. And then this is the location, the X and Z of the emerald block that you, or wherever you spawn the zombie. But the Y level is 4, so you're testing for the stone block so this is the spot. You're testing to see if there's stone underneath right here. And if there is, then it puts the signal on saying, hey, the armor stand needs to be here so the zombies can spawn where it's at. And then what it is whenever it does that, it's going to summon the armor stand. You can find the coordinates if you really wanted to right here. But it's the same thing with the zombies. You do the armor stand and then you put the name that you want it to be. And then it's going to be TP'd there. And then this one, whenever this turns off, so when that turns off, this is going to power. And it's going to kill the armor stand. That's named spawn, that's right there. So it doesn't, spawn them when you're not in that area. And, yeah, this should be at 5 ticks, by the way. But I know this was a complicated system. I know that. And with the boss, I'm going back over here to the boss. If you want to get the boss buffed out, you have the name of boss from the zombie, and then you give them effects. You can swap armor in with them. I won't go over that in this video, but if you want to know how to do a boss, just look it up, I guess. I will do a video in the future on how to do a boss, but right now I don't have one of those, so this is what you could possibly do right now. And yeah, I know this has been a long, complicated tutorial, but this is this was requested widely, and um, I, I I could make a really simpler one if you guys really wanted me to, but this is the one where it works most effectively, and you won't be roaming around for hours trying to find the last zombie if you have a huge zombies map. And this is multiplayer friendly. I made sure it's multiplayer friendly. So something I had to test was it was being weird with the execute command because of, yeah, it was being weird. So I came up with this, and yeah, it works. So, guys, thank you for watching this video all the way through if you've gotten this far. Thank you. That really means a lot. This was a long-winded tutorial and complicated, but we got through it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, if this wasn't obvious, you do that for every single spawn location. You just make these modules. Okay, but yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you, that really means a lot. And if you really enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And please go hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploaded. It really helps me out a lot. Yeah, it just really helps me out a lot. If you want to share this video with your friends who are having struggles with the zombies system, or even the playlist, just send the playlist to them, and if they're trying to make a zombies map, I'm going to try to include every single, like, thing that Treyarch Zombies has in Zombies as a tutorial. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, please leave a like and subscribe, and this has been Bram, and I'm out.